What an energetic audience we have today. Thank you for coming. Thank you at home for watching. It's The Christian View, where we take today's hot topics and we weigh them against the Word of God, because God does have a view. And today on this episode, we want to talk a little bit about purity and virginity. And, you know, a couple of years ago, Stacey Robinson, our producer, and I were at a convention in Atlanta. And, you know, I didn't know much about the Duggar family. She knew more about them than I did. But we knew they were going to be at that convention. And we just got so excited that we were going to get to see and meet the Duggar family. So she and I literally stood at the bottom of the escalator, probably 30 minutes, watching every person that came down until we saw that beautiful family of 19, 21, whatever, coming down that escalator. And they were just absolutely a beautiful, beautiful family, talented. And I think we look at the Duggar family and we think, purity. Don't we? What is America's fascination with the Duggar family, you think? Is it the purity?
I'll tell you one thing. When I see the Duggars, this is what I'm thinking. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I prayed and prayed and prayed for twins. After I got her home, I thanked God that he didn't answer that prayer. And I don't know that I could be Mrs. Duggar.
Well, speaking as a mom of 7 children, I can relate to that.
Triple
because, when we're out, people, so I can imagine with 19, but 7, people, they're amazed with that, And for me, it's, I'm always like, well, asking my husband, what's the big deal, And then one day I saw a family in a grocery store, and they had like 7 children. And do you believe I said, they got a lot of children? Then I counted, and I said, oh, that's me.
But don't you think that you have to have structure, and you have to have, everything has to be kind of systematic when you have that many children? And I know you would know that, and they would have to, and they do. We've learned that.
I think that's America's fascination with the Duggars, is that they have peace. They seem to have peace. They're just a peaceful,
with so much going
peaceful family with that many kids. There's got to be a lot of
noise. Have that many
children,
because we're often told when we take our children out to restaurants, we get compliments all the time that your children are so mannerable. You have such wonderful children.
They are.
And we're thinking, yeah, you don't live with them. But you know what?
You've taught them to do well in public.
Because when we're out, it's too many of y'all. You're not going to embarrass me. Right. So we work on it at the house. So we're good when we get in public.
Don't they say like the perfect family is a husband, a wife, and 2.5 children, or something like that? So people are fascinated.
Anything over that?
By that. I come from a family. I have 6 sisters.
Yes.
And whenever we went out, and all 7 girls, we got some stares. I mean, all those girls parading in. People are fascinated by the out of the ordinary.
You're right.
They are. And people are fascinated, but also you'll see a lot of people criticizing the Duggars. And because of some of the extreme beliefs and so forth that they have, but it works. You see these children that are being raised, and they're now having families of their own. They're happy, like you said. They're successful. They're self-employed. They're successful in their relationships, and they're successful in life.
When you have that many children, someone has to be self-employed. Because daycare would just kill you.
And don't the older children usually help with the younger children? I mean, is that true in your family?
It's one of the ways you manage a family like that. When you have older children, that can help with the younger children. So I'm like instructing. You take that one, you take that one, okay, and you take that one, and they're great. My older children, and it makes them more mature at a young age. So they have that personality trait because they're so engaged in helping with the children.
And you've got them all trained with jobs around the house. That many. Look what a load that could take off the mom.
Exactly.
It definitely does. But back to our training. Part of our topic was, purity and virginity. And they really the Duggars pursue purity. And part of the way that they do that is the older children are chaperoned. And it may be by one of the younger teens, but they're chaperoned, and their rules and regulations, and that they accept on a date. Yes, they are chaperoned on their dates.
So they'll send an older brother or sister to sit in the back seat and watch them.
Well, that's what my mom did when I was coming along, didn't yours? You're not doing that.
I wish my parents had done that, and I love my parents.
There is a book that was written, and I wrote down the title. It said, "From the Front Porch to the Back Seat: Courtship in the 20th Century America." And years ago, remember the black and white show the girl and the guy were in the parlor, and mom and dad came in, and so it's gone from the front porch to, and then it said dating evolved in America because it was a courtship society, and then it was like dances, and then the kids were allowed to go to dances, and then it became independent dating, and it is like the book from the front porch to the back seat.
Wow!
And we are amazed that the Duggars don't believe to the back seat.
Right.
That
they believe in the front porch.
Yeah, they believe in front porch dating, and it's worked for them. And I think people are saying, really? Yeah. And even in this day and age where kids say, they're saving their virginity or the purity rings, and they're like, really? For what? Because it isn't the norm anymore. It was the norm in early days, but it's not anymore.
In the good old days.
It's not the norm. But it should be the norm. I think, I went through that era, and my mom really didn't prepare me for that conversation. And God love her, we just didn't have the conversation that we should have had. And I think it's so important for parents to prepare children. And I think the Duggars are doing that. Yes. Preparing their children to realize that we're going to be tempted when those hormones start kicking in our teens. And we put ourselves in compromising situations where we're alone and so forth. It's easy for one thing to lead to another. And I was not well prepared at all.
Yeah, we always tell our 16-year-old who has a girlfriend who we just love and adore, but we tease them and we'll say, leave room for Jesus. Always have Jesus between you.
That's right. That's good.
Leave room for
Stay with us. We'll be right back.